Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
In today's podcast, we're covering one of the MCU's newest movies, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes. Now, in this introduction to this Marvel hero, Shang-Chi shows his struggle to fight the wishes of his father, to use his talents for vengeance and destruction as he tries to live a quiet life in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And now he must face his destiny when his family is in danger of a greater evil.
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, notification with these on future podcasts, and all the pause videos.
Yes. We finally got to see it. Finally.
Yes.
And it was exciting.
Yes, like probably the most exciting MCU movie in a while, because I know there were
definitely
some that
this
were,
year.
Yeah,
definitely this year.
Because I know we've had mostly Disney Plus shows instead of movies. So it was a whole year where we went without any Marvel movies, so you kind of had to deal with the Disney Plus MCU shows. But now we're doing movies again. I was like, maybe they needed that break to have even more action, excitement, and new stories to write.
Right. And of course, we were happy to see Simu Liu in the role, since we love him from Kim's Convenience.
Yes. And seeing him in here was really fun because, you know, for the first few minutes you did think of the show, but, you know, after a while and you get over the nuance of it, you do see that he does fit Shang-Chi. He's a great actor, and he does all his own stunts, and he does all the stunts very, very well.
And he and Awkwafina have great chemistry on screen.
Yeah.
So it was just really believable that they had this friendship, and they've been friends for a while, and that somehow this could really happen. It just really works.
Right. And there is quite a bit of comedy throughout it, but it still stays an action movie.
Yes, sir.
And for the people who've read like the original comic or seen videos about how the character started, we knew it was going to have to be updated because it was really of its time.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to do a new outfit, sort of new backstory, and try to flesh it out more and interconnect it with the MCU so it would fit better into this standard of making movies.
And I'm going to stop saying Simu Liu altogether. And Simi let us know in interviews, especially in the Men's Health, which we did read online, that this is how it was going to be, how he was looking forward to the role,
Yeah.
what he thinks the role is going to mean for other Asian actors in the future, whether it's in live action, anime-based movies, or in anime itself.
Yes.
So this movie really, we were really excited about the advent of this movie, because not only did it mean so much to the actors that are in it, but it also means a lot to us, the fans of the franchise and of just superheroes and animation and anime and everything in general.
Yes.
You're always looking
And
for something new. You're looking for something refreshing, and you love seeing a story that's been done before, done in a different way that resonates with you, because that's a sign of good writing and someone who can really relate to the character.
Yes. And it's
the character.
And it's funny that you had mentioned it, because there was a point online, I don't know if it was Twitter or somewhere else, where for a lot of people who really, really loved the movie, were saying that this was the closest, that this felt like what a live action anime movie should be, where it feels like this could have been an anime, but it wasn't. It was a comic, but it feels like this is how anime movies, live action anime movies should be done here, with the attention to detail, a lot of visual effects used, and sticking to a story, or even if they have to update the story a little bit, it still feels like the original thing you're watching. So maybe this will inspire more people and companies who are going to do all these upcoming live action anime films to say, hey, this may not have been anime, but you know, we can get it to this level where it's more detailed and it's more like the original source material.
Well, now that you've mentioned that, we have to admit that we've seen a lot now of anime live action adaptations, and they really suck. The best one we've seen so far is Sakike no Sainan, and it was excellent. So we have to say that when it comes to adapting comic book material and animation material, Marvel does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Because you're not looking at it going, what is this? Why did you make this?
Yeah.
This is horrible. Rarely ever do you have that reaction when they do an adaptation.
Right.
So we have to say that in the West, Marvel, the two big hitters, Marvel and DC, far supersede the anime adaptations that are done in Japan. And maybe they will learn to do better, and they will learn to catch up, and we'll be excited about it. But right now, in the West, Marvel supersedes everyone in adapting animation source material.
Right. So for the story, story itself, we knew it was going to be much different because we watched a little video from a channel that showed the origins of the character, his first comic, and what his original storyline is.
And we also read an Iron Man book written by Owen Colfer that mentions the character.
Right. And especially the huge thing people were really excited for is to see the true Mandarin, because with the third Iron Man, it was not the real Mandarin, it was a fake guy, and people were furious because they wanted to see the real villain. So in here you get that, but his name's not the Mandarin, because they said in the movie, it said you're afraid of an orange. Why would I pick a name like that? So now in this one, there is no Mandarin name, and they wanted to have him be a more sympathetic villain rather than just be a cold-blooded villain. So they had it where in this universe, once he had a family, he abandoned the 10 rings thing and being evil. Then what happened with his wife, he sort of went back into that out of anger and vengeance. So they tried to add a little more depth into it, where it's like, he's not doing it because he's crazy and psychotic.
And he also thought that he was actually hearing his wife telling her to come rescue.
Right. So they tried to add a little more depth to it, where it's not just him wanting to destroy somebody.
Right.
And they did not connect him to Iron Man whatsoever, since we know Iron Man is gone. They reworked it to where it's just connect Shang-Chi, and then that's it. There's no connection to Iron Man or the Avengers or anything. It stays in its own character universe.
But if you have not read the book, and what's the name of the Iron Man book?
The Gauntlet? Yeah.
The Gauntlet, you should read it. It's an interesting take, and it's well written, of course, because Owen Colfer wrote it.
Yeah.
So for you Artemis Fowl fans and fans of any of his literature, check that book out. You will enjoy it. Again, it's a different take, not to be connected with this movie.
Right. And as we said, the visual effects were very well done in here, especially when they were doing like the magical creatures that were in another realm, and they show lots of ancient warriors that were hidden, as they call it, the hidden realm type thing. And a lot of things are also praised here besides the effects and the acting and the martial arts skills, with that they had a entirely diverse cast of Asians all throughout the film. So it was sort of like a live action thing for Raya and the Last Dragon, where they had all the cultures represented in the film. They kind of did the same thing, and it was sort of shown with this realm, and they were hidden for centuries, and how it's kind of like the Valley of Peace in Kung Fu Panda, where it's a very peaceful place with these magic animals and creatures, and they're hidden from the world. And it was actually a really interesting idea to use, because you kind of got that same feeling of, wow, this little creative bubble they made for these groups of characters.
Yes, and I love the shout out to Raya, which Awkwafina portrayed a dragon in. With the water dragon that came out, that's the first thing I thought about. I said, okay, that's got to be a shout out to Raya, because she was this water dragon in it, which she was awesome, and she stole that movie.
Right.
But that's all I thought about as soon as I saw the dragon coming out of the water.
Right.
I know I was supposed to be focusing on the character Shang-Chi getting, or Sean getting his rightful powers, but all I could think of was Raya and her portraying the dragon. Sorry guys. She did an excellent performance, but as you said, the special effects were fantastic. Everything looked beautiful when they went to that realm. And again, I do like the camaraderie and relationship between them. You know that they're going to be a ship eventually, but I do like how you see them getting along as best friends, and you see that none of that is in there now. So when they do elevate it to a ship status, then you can understand, hey, they were friends for 4 or 5 years, and they really got along, they know each other, so you can see the natural progression. And I do like that when that happens with characters, because a lot of times you'll see it where they're friends and one person really always likes the other friend but never tells it, and then they tell them, well, I always liked you, and it ruins the friendship and relationship. But here they've built a solid base for this becoming a ship in future movies. And we know there's going to be at least 2 more because that's the MCU way.
Right. And we already got confirmation. With it online that there is a sequel in the works. So yes, we know this is coming, and we'll see what other MCU characters will he interact with, because at the end of the movie, I think he interacts with Hulk and Captain Marvel and Wong.
Yes.
We don't know if he's going to interact with more. We want to see him interact with more people, but for me, I think they want to be a little more selective on which characters that would fit better with him talking to.
Well, we thought Fury would be in here because, every Avenger ends up interacting with Fury first. So this was the first time that Fury was not the one to do the initial communication.
Right. This time it was Wong, which was a very odd choice for us, because it's like, really? Wong? We were kind of surprised that's who they chose, and then he got him to Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner. It was just so weird to see that. It sort of broke their own formula. But, you got used to it because, it's also connection to the No Way Home movie, because we saw Wong leave in the trailer. So I think they're saying, like, as this thing going on, Spider-Man is going on, this Shang-Chi thing is going on at the same time. So seeing 2 stories going on at once.
Doctor Strange as well.
Right.
So this is gonna be a really exciting year coming up in 2022 for the movies that are coming out with all of the crossovers.
Right.
So maybe we'll get lucky, and it hasn't been revealed that Shang-Chi will actually make an appearance in one of the movies. The best one would be, of course, because of what happened, it would be Doctor Strange.
Yes.
But we'll have to just wait and see.
Right.
So if you guys saw Shang-Chi at the theater, let us know how it affected you in the comments below, how much you loved it, what made it great about seeing it on the big screen as compared to seeing it on a smaller screen like we did. And if you haven't seen it, it's available on Disney+.
Right.
It's also available to rent at Redbox and other places. And of course, it's available for purchase.
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, notification for these future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Absolutely. And last but not least, congratulations, Simi Lou. You got your role that's going to be associated with you forever.
Yeah.
We've seen you in other roles, smaller roles on TV, cable, so forth. But now you've broken into the big time. And congratulations.
Yes. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.